Hi Libra, if you'd like to come on in, have a seat for some symbolic support. Feel free to take in some smudge if you'd like to let that wash all over you. Here's your ink blot we did earlier in October, and we have since flipped it for perspective possibilities, so feel free to take a screenshot so you can scry on your own time and terms for shapes and symbols that speak to your psyche and psychic senses. Libras as well, you know the drill. We'll add on tarot and oracle. We have the ghost tube here kicking for any audio additions that may inspire or irritate. Link is below if you're interested or just wish to cure curiosity. There's no affiliation. And
it's what I want.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, great. So Libras, you know the drill. If you'd like to join me to open, you're welcome to, or you can fast forward through. Closing the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush. Activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. Libras, thank you so much for being my muse, for holding space for me to share my insights and allowing me to be a guest in your aura. Gratitude for being you. Whew, quite the smudge on the go here, so definitely drink that in if that's look at this hair. Oh my goodness. We're just going to leave it. We're just going to lean into it. It's cold here today. I don't want to fuss with it. All right, Libra, my love. What's going on? What's going on? I feel like there's a prominent person in your life right now, or a prominent figure.
Finish.
They could be religious, or they simply just could be somebody that holds like a cardinal position in your life, in your love, I'm also seeing, is it a lift or an elevator or one of those like construction things when you're going to go up tall, it's like, and it, you know, the X's come up. Somebody also might have a balcony. Maybe you live in an apartment building, there's a balcony. Something about the view. I'm very aware of either something energetic or physical. So Libras, I'm not sure, and this obviously isn't for all, but for some, if you do live in an apartment building or even like a window of a home, I don't know if I'm on top being in a guest in the Libra aura,
Imprisoned.
And I'm looking down and trying to send energy out or physical things. Maybe there's also something going on where somebody's grounded or imprisoned right now and is looking for help and is like sending things out through the window, through the balcony to be like, hey. And I feel like there might be a note attached to it. Something like you drop a shoe, but there's something carved in the shoe, or I drop a hat and there's a note in the hat. I feel like I'm trying to communicate. It's also bringing me into like that. I don't think I shouldn't say that I have. Is it Rapunzel? Somebody in like a tower. Interesting. Okay, so other Libras, now whether this is Libra individually or Libra amongst the collective, because there's two perspectives, one being up, and now I'm being drawn down to the person on the bottom, Libras, where you might be receiving messages that seemingly kind of fall from the sky, like Chicken Little, and you're like, oh my goodness, where did this shoe come from? Where did this message come from? Where did this sign come from? And I feel like you're tuning into it and you're kind of looking
Basement.
up, like, you know, look up, look down, and turning all around. Interesting. Okay. So maybe it's because Libras as well. Okay. So it's also bringing me into like the sewer system. So I don't know if there's something going on like all these layers that Libras are, maybe you're calibrating. And in order to calibrate one area, you know that there's a cause and effect that might shift the paradigm over here. You know what I mean? And now I'm saying it's like something, I don't know if it's like it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. I don't know what it is, where it's like, I got to decide, like, Nonetheless, I'm going to take a sip here while I'm diving into that. There's some sort of like knowledge. There's an energy coming out of a book to you. Out of a book. It's like the words speak. It doesn't have to be a traditional book. Maybe it's something. Maybe these messages, you're putting it together. Thank you. So for some, there might also be a journal and you're flipping through your own old messages. Somebody also might have like a secretary or administration or a point person, customer service, and you're looking through your messages. So when I come back to this book of sorts, it could even be like, you're going through your taxes and all these receipts. It could even just be receipts, and that's fine. And energy's coming at me, and it's like, oh, this is where I've been spending too much, or oh, this is why this. Like something becomes realized through putting these messages together, because I feel like there's something cryptic in there that you yourself created, like a code. Could be within the consciousness realm. Sub, on, unconscious, all the conscious eyes,
I'm
whatever
close.
feels good. And you are close, Libras, whatever it is. But there's definitely also some sort of calibrating. I'm seeing happy dogs down here. And I'm seeing, what is this? I've just heard, I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. Man, you're happy. You can be really happy in some really podunk situations, and that's amazing. That's amazing. But it's something about, okay, I have to come back to this energy coming out of this something or other. I don't know, see, it does the whole, like, maybe it's like a recipe. It's like a recipe revealed. Whatever this recipe is reflective of, personal, professional, corporate, creative, romantic, platonic, you know me. The channels are yours to follow, create, and not constipate. Oh my goodness, we're poets and we don't even know it. Hilarious. Okay, what do we got here from the Talisman Oracle? Oh my nose is getting really, really itchy. Okay, we have overcoming fear and mindfulness. You know the drill. If these mean anything to you, follow that first. We also have here union. As the spirit box is talking about, please come back. I'm also now hearing the song, please don't go. Don't go. Don't go away. Resilience and banish a curse. This is that stuff flying up from the balcony, or the construction worker talking down to the, not talking down, but being in that lift thing, and they're talking to somebody down on the ground saying, to be honest with you, what I'm hearing is they're saying what the problem is. It's like somebody working on an air conditioning unit or something really up high.
What is this?
And then they're talking to somebody who's on the ground, like looking up saying, what's the problem, Bob? What's going on? Or, you know what I mean? Something along that lines, and they're communicating. I kind of, like, as staff, want to interrupt and say, like, why didn't we all get walkie-talkies? So this would be a lot easier and there wasn't so much yelling. But I feel like it's fine. It could even just be aspects of the self, right? The human and the higher self, or what? Maybe somebody even has a fear of heights, because there's a lot of lift height energy in here. Yeah, because I want to plant. Okay, see, right? I keep being drawn to this being coming out of this book or this recipe, these papers, these things, whatever the case is. Some sort of illumination happens, but I want to plop the candle right in there. Like some sort of introspection illumination happens. Because you're slightly separate, and those degrees of separation work together as long as every part is mindful. And I think that's like when I was seeing the two versions or two energies speak to each other. It's like, guys, like we could be so mindful, like grab some walkie-talkies, you know, and you don't have to be hollering. But I don't think it's bothering anyone else. This is all very internal. So I feel as well now I'm like trying to control an internal process. But it's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just simply looking at it. I'm also seeing a lot of rings every time I close my eyes, and like chain link fence type stuff, or like gear, like, you know, like knights in armor would kind of wear. But I'm also seeing some sort of commitment to something, and I've committed, or Libras collectively to individually in some scope have committed to something. Interesting. Okay, so somebody might also have a young male, masculine energy, male express, that has passed, and I am mourning him greatly. I'm not really sure if it was a fall, a workplace accident, or a push. I'm
Where
not
are
sure
we?
what it was, or a jump. I'm not sure what it was, but I'm like seeing those dogs again. I'm singing in the rain. This young male is like in your tears, like your tears are the rain. I'm singing in the rain, and that's how this young male is trying to help receive that grief and understand what's happening, but there's a happiness that's trying to be infused back to you, to be like, I'm fine, I am well, and I am here. But it's like the storm of mourning and grief, completely understandable, but they too are immersed in that different digestion of it, or dissecting of it, or expression of it. But it's like once that cloud kind of moves, I'm seeing it like the Truman Show, where like that one cloud of rain just seems to follow him around for that little bit. And I feel like once it
I am
dissipates,
in pain.
and it's not so much the sun will come out, the sun will come out. It's not so much like, oh, it's all just going to be okay, but I'll be able to receive from this loyal love that is never going to leave me, simply has changed forms. The weather is just simply changing forms. And once like that cloud wanders off a little bit, just off to the side, maybe you're having a good day, or you're having a good bath, or because you had a really good cry, the emotional release, the chemical rebalancing welcomes like this flood of love into you. And I hope that you feel that from this young gentleman. Okay, there's a resilience and a banishing of the curse that I feel is very much so in relation to that love loss. And I don't actually want to say love loss, because I understand it from a human perspective. I absolutely compassionately understand. But energetically, I feel like that's wrong wordage. That's not the way to claim
Trash.
it. But I understand. Yeah, like trash it. But I understand, because you're being very, very resilient, and you guys are like consciously connected in consciousness. You can call it karma, you can call it soul family, whatever the case is, you know it and you feel it in your heart. And for other Libras, I feel as though like you receive these messages, and I'm seeing a barber. And you know how the barbers have, what is that? I don't have a beard, but I'm seeing it, that certain kind of knife, not like Sweeney Todd style, but nonetheless,
What should I do?
whatever that kind of flat kind of knife is, and you're able to very compassionately shave away things that are creating a rough feel. I don't know what that is, and that's what's being banished through this. Like, but there's an action that does it, and there's a super mindfulness. You can't just go slicing and dicing, you know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like that was probably something that needed to be done on camera, but there it is. That's fine. All right. Okay, so now I'm wandering down here, Libras, and I'm seeing two characters, if I'm being very honest. And I usually am very honest. Well, I am very honest. It's always written all over me. I'm seeing the movie Dumb and Dumber, when Harry and Lloyd are very fancy in their tuxedos. And is it Lloyd that has the walking stick? That's what I'm seeing. It's great. It's great fun. Somebody might be going up north, or you have a cottage up north, or just something like, again, because Aspen's coming in, so maybe you're going skiing, or maybe every so often you take off to go, because I'm seeing moose and deer in here, the animals. It's kind of like calling you to go and get away for a little bit. Not get away to an escape, but just to get away. And for some, I feel like whatever the action is if you do ski, or if you, I don't know, snowshoe, whatever sort of activities and actions, or maybe you just go and read a book by the fire, helps you feel closer to somebody that may have passed. It doesn't have to be this young male, it may be, but just in general, maybe even just a part of you, right? Just a part of you that needs to reconnect and just relax. Seven of Cups, because Libras, I feel like you're getting a lot of things, a lot of messages with meaning. That's the thing. Everything has meaning around you, and I know everything has meaning, but you seem to be your aura seems to be very acutely aware of the meanings as they're being put together. Because there might have been things you've been collecting that are like, oh, I thought that was nothing. Oh, I thought that was nothing. Like, oh, this piece of paper, this, your journal entries, whatever. But when you start looking at the big scope of it and putting it together, you're like, oh, there it is. There it is. I hope that makes sense. The Ten of Swords with the Hierophant. Yeah, you're making some sort of decision to go and chillax and relax. To kind of get rid of some of this. I'm feeling it as anxious anxiety. An anxiousness. Okay, so for some as well, this is definitely working through grief. Yeah, because I kind of feel like I've just been through the ringer. Absolutely. For some as well, I'm going to be going towards my faith, whatever that faith is. Because I'm going through a change, my reality is changing. Now, whether this reality is literally in the people, places, or things that were there and are no longer there, that have traveled and moved on, to maybe a job loss or to a job gain, and I'm feeling very uncomfortable and I'm not sure if I made the right decision. I don't know what to do. And I'm getting all these mixed messages because I'm in a mixed state. So I want to clarify these messages. So I go towards my faith, whatever your faith is. It could be a person, it could be traditional, it could be holistic, it could be abstract, whatever the case is. I move towards my faith. Why? Because that's where I feel I'm attracted to, where I can actually calm down and I can let my guard down a little bit, Libras. I know there's a lot of people that may seem to come to you as well because they are there. I can feel them. Maybe this is spiritually and you're communicating with the spirit, the elements, residual, loved ones past, this, that, or the other. But it also could just be very real in this reality of the incarnates where it's people at your work, they come to you with their problems. Maybe you are some sort of administration. And I know from my first thing that, so I have a question for you, or you know what I mean? Like, it's just, okay, I need everyone to stop asking me questions so I can get some sort of task done. And I need to relax. I literally need to relax. Unseen here is the Temperance, and then you had the King of Pentacles come in with it. Goodbye. Thank you so much for being here for the Libra Collective, if those mean anything to you. Okay, so that's when I'm coming up here. So it's like when I go up to meet whatever my faith is, and I'm being elevated back up, but I want to put the wings in right about there. And it's like having one foot in the water, one foot on land, because I'm realizing I need to create some sort of balance within myself. But there is an angelic presence coming in, if not already there, but I haven't been able to see it or connect to it necessarily because I've been very busy, busy being a messenger yourself. You are a messenger. And I feel like this just is it. But you hold a prominent position that comes with risk and rewards of relaxation and balancing that out. Yes, you are crazy resilient. And yes, you are darn good at what you do. But because you're the best, you deserve to relax. And I mean like actively relax. Now, that might be for some, you are very active in how you relax. Again, I'm seeing this skiing thing. I don't know. Maybe that's what you would do. That's what, burn off some steam. I feel like for a lot of people, you are an angel on earth, whatever your position is in relation to like a certain friendship, to a person, to your job. I don't know what it is. I feel like I just keep feeling like I want to extend this like gratitude to you that you were just, some people say like you're just an angel on earth. Like some people say that very, very earnestly. I also feel like some of you are fortune tellers, seers, whatnot, in some way, shape, or form. And you might be working through the ebb and flow of that, ebb and flow.
I hear
and
you.
If that is something that you're working towards, if that is an area of a skill set that you're continually, being earthly and energetic, and you're like, yes, I'm doing this, I feel like you're going to be very, very successful at it. Okay, closing out messages for Libra. I hope all of that made sense. I'm not really sure what I rambled on about. I can't remember even in this very moment. So if I didn't say so already, please do like, share, and subscribe. I have no idea. And yeah, so we have grief on the bottom here. So somebody, absolutely, compassion in my heart sends out to you. Somebody also might be like a death doula, or you work in, whatchamacallit, hospice. Yeah. So there's absolutely been a passing, and of course there's been passing. That's what we do, right? We evolve, we change forms, but I feel like somebody compassion to you that you are moving through this right now. Yes, and this is the angel song. I'm singing in the rain, just sing. I don't mean it to be so happy.
Please come
Because
back.
on the other side, I hear, and every time I speak of this, it's like, please come back. And I'm like, I just want them to come back. I want them to come back. But they are back. They're just not in the same form.
Car.
So as much as I was hearing, it could have been a car accident as well. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it back. Something about 14 years ago. Maybe they were 14.
Necklace.
14 years old, 14 years ago, or 14 days ago. Like it all, like it could even be like a death day or something like that. We have here altar that I want to bring up with the Hierophant. And all of this feels like all around here. And now these eyes, I am crying, 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 crying.
Granddaughter.
A sacred devotion, a worship skin deep, rising from the ash, the waters you keep, singing in the rain. This is, it's almost as if remember when I was talking about those good cries. And then I lay there with the tissues and the waters. And I feel so open. My pores are so open to receive that I have faith in that. If it's not faith in regards to a person or a culture or something along that lines, it's in that moment I lay, once that storm cloud, like the crunch of it is done and now it's just a trickle, or I'm just laying there with my stuffy nose and I feel open. And it's in that moment I hear the sun and I feel the sun. I definitely feel like this is a gentleman in spirit. With the underworld, hand over your known, a shift is near. Take a leap, your journey is clear. Yeah, so there's two things. Sorry, that just popped in. One, somebody else that may have passed in a position that you might be grieving with is something about 40. So whether they were 40 years old, 40 days ago, or you were together for almost 40 years, something along that lines. And as well, somebody might have lost a sister. And it's like, oh, I'm coming up to when I was my 40th birthday.
Thursday.
And she would have been, or I'm coming up to my birthday and my sister would have been almost 40 or 41. Something along that lines. Hand over your known, a shift is near. Take a leap, your journey is clear. So this feels like as I embrace. Oh, okay. So more angels just came in. And I am saying angels, but I just mean presence. 3 kings, 3 angels, whatever the case may be. We 3 kings of Orient are. Maybe Christmas time is a hard time. Gifts are coming into me. Gifts, again, it's all in like this message taking, this book. Maybe this book has something to do. You're going to return to your faith at a certain point in time where you're going to inspire yourself to learn about a different faith. I'm not really sure what this faith is. And I'm careful. Like I want to say faith that's connected to a religion, and then there's faith that's not connected to a religion. So it's really free. It's very free feeling. I want a really tight hug to feel safe right now. That's how I'm feeling. So I don't know if you can if you need that hug, feel the squench, squench. Like I hug you. For others that are working through their psychic gifts, I feel as though you might be meeting into a mentor. Again, messages are coming that will lead you towards them. And or vice versa. They are following messages to get to you, but I feel like you're going to be leading up to them. And there's something about specifically either like psychonaut style, shamanism, and or communicating straight up with the those past, those beyond, not residual necessarily. You might utilize empathy as a skill. You might utilize candles. You might utilize, different tools, but I feel inherently there's a skill set. That sight, I'm going to call it that sight, the senses. Anyway, you know what I mean? So I feel like you're going to be working into that, or working with somebody that's going to help heighten them. But there's a devotion being asked of you. Like once you start this, if you commit to be devoted to it, because things might go a little odd, and you might feel like you're not seeing clearly, or you're not seeing something because the book isn't written, the script hasn't been said yet. But it's almost like if you are looking for that, to write it out like a script. You might also be a script writer. Okay, I have been yammering on way, way too long. I apologize, but I am so grateful for your patience and your perspective, as it is powerful. Libras, you rock, my loves. Until next time.